All right, guys, awesome job so far in our first two videos. It's time to move on to a little bit more complex striking patterns and kind of thinking outside the box a little bit more. So now what we can do is, once again, we pretend our heavy bag or our Thai bag is our opponent. So an aggressive opponent moving forward, we're gonna be able to pivot off, throw check hooks, okay? We can also pivot off, get to the body, shovel hooks, knees, and some of my favorite stuff to do when we create angles or throw head kicks as well. So the idea is, once again, in video 1 and video 2, we're developing our footwork without all of that. All the complex punching arrangements and combinations, they're not gonna be there. So once again, spend your time, develop your footwork properly. I usually spend almost 45 minutes a day shadow boxing and working on my footwork alone, okay? The last point that I'd like to make here is, when we're hitting the bag, we don't want to hit it really hard. What's going to happen is, you know, if I come in and I kill the Muay Thai bag and boom, really hit it, it's going to start wobbling maybe. It's going to move kind of out of the that pendulum motion that I want to establish my footwork, okay? There are some drills where maybe we get in, we smash the bag, and we kind of play and we move. But for this, we're just going to kind of lightly touch it. That way, once again, we're not messing up our flow, and it gives us adequate time to drill these moves as we're kind of going over things. So we covered first video, forwards and backwards movement with our hips in, staying close to the bag, keeping our feet moving. Then we worked on swinging the bag a little faster. Okay? Maintaining that range to throw our strikes. Now, obviously, I can be a little closer to the bag if I'm just throwing punches, but if I do want to kind of start creating angles, I'm going to have to learn how to step to the side and pivot. All right, so basically our pivot will be, as the bag is swinging towards me, I step to the outside with my lead foot, pivot and turn, maintaining a certain amount of range to be able to throw my punches. I don't want to pivot off too close. I don't want to pivot away too far. I need to find that right distance for either my punching or my kicking or knees, okay? So that's something you have to practice with the bag, and then eventually you can start playing around with a partner. So, for example, I swing the bag, I pivot, there's my check hook. I step past, there's my check hook, okay? So from this angle, I step past, it's my check hook. It's coming towards me, step, check. You notice when I take that step from my hook, my hips are engaged, they're under me. As I step past, I turn, and I'm looking for the head hook there. Now obviously you go to the body, you can throw all sorts of different variations, whatever you're comfortable with. The check hook, is an amazing tool to knock out an aggressive fighter, someone that's coming in, doesn't have their hands up, or, you know, as far as if you like to counter punch, easy way to start landing some strikes. So, once again, step past the bag, pivot, my hands are up. Boop, step. So we can drill both sides. If I want to go to my other side, all I do is just step up with my back foot, same thing, and I can pivot and throw. Once again, timing is really important if you're going to step up with the back foot, and it's something you really want to be comfortable with. So I recommend it as far as when you really get a lot of work in, a lot of practice in. But as far as your lead leg goes, that's something we can start doing right away to throw. So technically, everything needs to be there, because once again, we are dealing with an aggressive opponent. So our hands need to be up, our guard needs to be set, but we still need to be moving on the balls of our feet. We never want to be flat-footed, okay? Like, MMA striking is very complex. It's not like Muay Thai striking, it's not like karate, it's a combination of everything. So we need to utilize all of our tools to deal with the complexity of the problems you're going to be facing in there with someone that's trying to take your head off, okay? So, once again, as the bag's coming past, we step, pivot, throw, and then I get back to establishing my angles or range, or maybe shoot, or maybe we knock them out in the fight zone.